Good morning, everyone. Good morning to members of the media who are here today. Good morning to so many persons who have been a part of this process for a number of years. And good morning to my colleagues, the Minister of Education, Deella Rebane, and MP Chris Famous as well. But there are a number of people here today who have been so much a part of this process, and I just thank everyone for being here. I'm here today to provide an update on Bermuda's draft Blue Prosperity Plan, which is being designed to sustainably manage and protect the ocean's resources within Bermuda's exclusive economic zone, or as we know it as the EEZ. Our EEZ stretches from our coastline out to 200 nautical miles. This area holds tremendous untapped potential for sustainable ocean industries, which can contribute to our island's economic growth, infrastructure development, and job creation. While ensuring economic resilience, the Bermuda government is also committed to achieving the highest standard of marine protection, which is essential to building ocean resilience. I want to emphasize that the government has recognized the global commitment, which includes the United Kingdom, to fully protect 30% of the world's oceans by 2030. There are over 175 countries that have called for 30% protection by 2030. According to UN data, as of 2022, approximately 100 of those countries and territories are engaged in developing marine spatial plans. With this in mind, Bermuda has set a reasonable expectation of protecting 20% of our 464 square kilometers EEZ. That's an enormous amount of space. Thousands of little Bermudas would fit into that space. To that end, the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Plan, or BOP as it has been called, was established for the purpose of assisting Bermuda in creating a framework that supports the responsible development of Bermuda's blue economy. BOP was also tasked with ensuring that 20% of Bermuda's waters was set aside for fully protected marine areas. Since releasing the first draft of the Blue Prosperity Plan in August of 2022, hundreds of comments have been received through stakeholder engagement, meetings, focus groups, town halls, pop-up events, emails, and surveys. Furthermore, a comprehensive ocean use survey was used to understand how Bermuda's residents use and value the ocean. The survey was open from September 2020 to February 2021 and received over 1,400 responses. It was reopened exclusively for our commercial fishermen from November of 2022 to March of 2023. The new data collected from commercial fishermen represents input from 60% of Bermuda's full-time fishermen and 29% of Bermuda's recreational fishermen. I want to repeat that. 60% of Bermuda's full-time commercial fishermen have given contribution to this plan. That said, I want to acknowledge everyone, and I mean everyone, who has participated in this plan. Your efforts have been critical to forming the draft plan, and I want to thank everyone, and I repeat, everyone who has taken the time to put forth a submission and the energy and commitment to the process. I am extremely excited to announce that I have received the updated version of the Blue Prosperity Plan, which incorporates extensive stakeholder engagement, public and scientific feedback collected since the original draft was released in 2022. The draft Blue Prosperity Plan outlines a pathway to growing Bermuda's ocean economy while protecting and restoring the island's ocean for our present and, of course, the future generations who will come after us. Like the first draft Blue Prosperity Plan, the new version has two parts: the Blue Economy Strategy, a blueprint for growing Bermuda's ocean-related industries and attracting investment opportunities, and of course the Marine Spatial Plan, a framework for implementing sustainable ocean development, protection, and management. And it's about replenishment, not restriction. With even more information accumulated since 2022, the final draft of the Blue Prosperity Plan uses the best available science alongside extensive input from the government of Bermuda, local scientific community, stakeholder groups, and of course the Bermuda public. The plan includes many objectives to support and promote ocean industries, conservation, and more, and provides information on new funding that will be available through the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Fund, also known as the Ocean Fund. The fund will support the long-term sustainable growth of the blue economy industries and provide opportunities for Bermudians. With that in mind, I am proud today to share with you a short video that encapsulates the goals of the Bermuda Blue Prosperity Plan.
Everything that Bermuda is based on the ocean, so it's really important that we look after it and protect ourselves.
Bermuda is worth protecting because it's our home.
One of the pillars of the Bermuda economy is tourism. You see, a lot of people come to Bermuda beaches, snorkeling, scuba diving.
We would like to see generations to follow us be able to have the level of opportunities to enjoy the ocean and enjoy Bermuda as much as we have.
We want there to be more fish and healthy fish stocks, but also a fishing community that has longevity. So that's the goal of BOP, more resiliency for Bermuda and everybody better off.
I'm really happy with being involved in the BOP program, giving my input, hearing other people's input, and hopefully being a part of a process that will move us to a better place tomorrow, 10 years, 100 years down the road.
The goals of Bermuda's Blue Prosperity Plan are to have a thriving and healthy marine environment while at the same time growing the blue economy.
I think what's unique about BOP is that it's not just a marine spatial plan, it's the marine spatial plan and the blue economy strategy, and both plans work together.
The whole reason why every country in the world is creating marine parks is because it will allow the fish stocks to improve, and this will mean more fish to catch, healthier fish to catch, and a resilient industry that can continue and pass on from generation to generation. There's talk of the blue economy. We already have a thriving Bermuda blue economy.
The ocean is inextricably intertwined with our economy. We rely on the ocean. The Blue Prosperity Plan is really about resilience of Bermuda's oceans.
I'm really excited about this plan because I think it provides opportunities for everyone. Everyone is a user of the ocean.
For people who have built a living around the ocean, like myself, it is really important to try and act now rather than later, as later may be too late.
Those of us that have children, by the time our children are our age, they will be experiencing a different set of extreme events.
The reef is in charge of protecting us, but if we don't protect our reefs, how can we expect it to withstand any significant hurricanes?
Look, we're 20 Square Mile Island. We should be agile enough to be able to respond to this and set the standard.
We think about our grandchildren and our grandchildren's grandchildren and as many generations as remain on this island. I mean, they deserve to benefit and to enjoy this wonderful creation that we have.
You know, I think the potential to save things, make Bermuda a sort of a shining example is there, but we need a community effort.
If you have a strong connection to the environment and to Bermuda, you're going to want to protect it because you're going to be proud of it.
If we want a certain change, everybody's going to have to pitch in to get that change.
We lose the oceans, we lose everything, don't we? So we really got to be a little better about how we manage it. If I want my grandchildren to have something, we've got to make sacrifices today.
I believe that Bermuda itself can become an example to the rest of the world. We can become that pivotal island nation that shows everyone that a thriving blue economy is possible. All we have to do is put in the work to get it there.
Well, having watched that video, I hope the message is clear and resonates with everyone across our island and beyond our borders. I encourage everyone to visit forum.gov.bm to read the new draft of the Blue Prosperity Plan. One will find frequently asked questions to help address many of the comments and issues that have been raised in the community, on social media, that many perhaps want to have answers about. The forum will also detail how you can send your submissions regarding the plan to make the deadline for submissions, which is April 30th, 2024. As part of the submission process, I have nominated a review panel. This panel is independent of the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Plan, BOP itself. That is members of the community, and they will evaluate all the public submissions to the Blue Prosperity Plan proposed around Marine Protected Area Network and potential use areas. Details of the panel and its remit can also be found on the government forum. The panel will first evaluate all the submissions, receive, and then provide myself, the minister, with a report that will include recommendations. Once considered, I will select the ones that will be used to amend the Blue Prosperity Plan if required. The amended plan and the submitted panel report will be introduced to the Cabinet for consideration and approval later this year. This plan is created by Bermudians for Bermuda. Results from many groups contributed to countless hours of work. And I was not the one doing that work. Some of the people who were in the room today, who are not on camera, were the ones who did the work. And I am eternally grateful for the work that they did to get this together. It also reflects voices of hundreds of stakeholders, arguably thousands, participating in the consultative process which has been in place since 2019. Successful ocean management must incorporate diverse stakeholder inputs while prioritizing our ocean's health, which everyone relies on. I am delighted to support this Blue Prosperity Plan, which will benefit all Bermudians, those with us now and for many years to come. Thank you, everyone, and happy to take some questions.
Thank you, Minister. We can now take questions from the media.
Good morning, Minister Robin. Gray Miners here, Bermuda Broadcasting. How are you this morning? So quick question for you. With regards to the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Fund, are you able to list some of the major donors to that fund? And has there been any push to engage with new financial contributors to the fund?
I'm not at this time able to give you those details. Those details are in the works. We are continuing to speak to a number of persons about the formulation and putting together the fund. I can confidently say that we have had considerable interest in the fund, and we are looking forward to, in the not too distant future, coming forth to the public about what the fund will look like and the process with actually populating the fund with the capital that's needed to fund the plan. So I look forward to coming in the near future to talk to people about that. as we speak, we are working on the fund. In fact, I will be traveling to Athens next week to not only discuss details around the fund, but also all aspects of the plan with the Wade Institute and its principals. And I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that I can report some positive news about those discussions when I come back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the media?
Sarah Lagan from the Royal Gazette. Have a question about the fund. Can you say what that fund will be going towards? You said benefiting Bermudians.
Yes, I would encourage you, Ms. Lagan, to read the plan. Actually, the like discussion of the Blue Investment Facility has been detailed in the plan from the first draft. So it hasn't changed. It's still the same purpose. These funds will go towards the development of, as I said in my statement, blue economy initiatives, industries, and help to not only to develop incubator type of programs, but also to fully fund projects such as in renewable energy, aquaculture, blue tourism, and also sustainable fisheries, including other activities that will be within our EEZ, including enforcement, conservation, and protection as well.
Okay, can you put a ballpark figure on how much that fund will be?
No, but it will start, I would say, somewhere close to 100 million in the region.
And when will that be available?
I've already answered that question. I will give details as to what we will be doing around the fund when I have that information and more details about it.
Okay, fabulous.
Because it is a part of the Blue Investment Facility, so it's very public. There's nothing secret about it. If anyone reads the documents, they'll see much of the detail of what the fund is intended to do and how it fits into the overall plan.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, there's been a lot of back and forth with between BOP and the fishermen. And one of the sticking points has been the 20% that BOP would like to dedicate to the marine protected area. Is in the new plan that is still 20%?
I think I made that clear in my
statement. It's still 20%.
But I also made it very clear we've had the majority of our full-time fishermen have contributed to this, and you saw the film. We have the support of fishermen. I can personally attest to having conversations with fishermen who support this plan. Obviously, perhaps they aren't willing to come out publicly, but that's okay. But they have not only committed to myself, but also my team, their support. How else could we get 60% of them talking to us and actually shaping the plan? That's evidence of the support amongst the fishing community, that 60% of them actually contributed to this process.
I can't speak for all fishermen, but certainly the Fishermen's Association of Bermuda have said, have repeatedly said they don't feel, even though they have been consulted, they don't feel that their views have been taken on board, should we say. So even if 60% of full-time and 20% of recreational fishermen have been spoken to, if none of their ideas are brought on board, what does it mean? It's not coming from me, it's coming from what they've said. And what would you say to that?
60% of Bermuda's fishermen have contributed to this plan.
But if their views have contributed to the plan, so they have been taken
just
on
like
board.
everyone else has,
Okay.
and their contributions have shaped the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I think you have to remember, they, according to the FAB leadership, withdrew, and none of the fishermen were supposed to be participating. That clearly didn't happen. The majority of the fishermen did participate. They did make contributions.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, if that many contributed, I think that's an indication that they wanted to be involved, irrespective of what their leadership said. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy, I'm pleased, and I'm thankful to those fishermen who have given their contribution, irrespective of what their leadership has said to this point. And I would also remind you, their leadership has also made a submission, a draft, which they announced a few weeks ago, which is actually going to be reviewed by the review panel. So their contributions are going to have full consideration.
That's what was going to be my next question. So they did produce a draft management plan in February. Are you able to say if any of that is going to be taken on board in going forward? And if so, what?
I think I just said that their submission
going
will
to
be
be
reviewed
taken
by the panel. I'm not going to make a judgment on their submission. One of the reasons why we're doing this review panel is to ensure that independently from myself, from the BOP process, which certain parties have suggested that it was biased or tilted, that won't be the case with this final consideration. It'll be a group that has had nothing to do with the actual plan or the process. So the review panel will be people who have not been involved.
And
they are going to be the ones who will take any submissions between now and April 30th, and then they will consider them and make recommendations to myself if any of those submissions contributed positively to the further development of the plan. And so I await those submissions. I'm not going to cast any judgment on the individual submissions themselves. I'm leaving that to the review panel of independent-minded persons who will give a fresh eyes to the whole Marine Spatial Plan package. And they will make recommendations to myself, and I'll leave it at that. And that will include, as you referred to, the draft submission of the FAB.
Okay, I see, yeah. Apologies if you said this already in your presentation, but who selected that panel? How was that panel selected?
I selected it from a pool of people that were recommended to myself. I'm happy to give you those names now so that people know who they are. There's no secret. It's all very public. That is Maxwell Burgess, Dr. Russ Frith, Rachel Gosling, Amy Harvey, Susan Mayo, Joseph Robinson, and Randolph Rochester are the principal members of the panel. Okay. And they are known to the community. I believe they're highly capable Bermudians, and they will do a good job. And I'm confident that they will give me recommendations that I can rely on.
Sure, and you said that the approval could go to Cabinet by the end of this year. Can you be any more specific on when it could get approvals in the Cabinet?
It'll go to Cabinet when it's done.
Yeah, okay. Just finally, going back to previous studies and things around marine protected areas in Bermuda. I know previously there was the Blue Halo and another spot. There were some in the community who wanted to look at the ocean, deep sea mining and see what economic opportunities are down there. Is there anything you can say about that? People are worried that if you're going to protect, I mean, it's 20%, you know, presumably there's 80% that activities can take place. Can that sort of exploration continue to take place under this current plan? Deep sea mining, things like precious metals, things like that.
First of all, there is no deep sea mining exploration going on in Bermuda's waters.
Currently?
There hasn't been for many years.
Could there in the future?
Long before any of this work even started, many years ago.
I understand that.
Probably before all of us were even in these roles. So the question of deep sea mining is not an issue for us. There's nobody licensed to do deep sea mining exploration in Bermuda's waters. That is not a part of the plan. Again, if anyone reads the plan, they'll see there's no mention of such activities. This is about protection and replenishment and long-term conservation of our waters. Deep sea mining doesn't factor into that. So I would suggest take deep sea mining out of the picture. As it relates to Blue Halo, this is not Blue Halo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I can say.
Yep.
I'm not going to speak any more about a plan that is not even part of this process.
Some of the similar issues are going to rise when we're talking about protecting a section of the ocean. So
I'll say again, this is not Blue Halo.
Yeah, I understand that. So deep sea mining isn't part of the plan. It's not in the radar. It's not part of the potential blue economy going forward for the island.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That is the final questions. Minister, do you have any closing remarks?
I would like to reiterate my gratitude to everyone who has been involved with this process, who have actually had to deal with quite a bit, I think, from certain parts of the community in the whole process of coming forth and bringing forth information, and also bringing forth a plan that people could be confident in. And that clearly there were a lot of different views, but I am grateful for the work that they've done. I'm grateful to all of the thousands of residents who participated in this plan, who actually took the time to make contributions, to shape it. This is a Bermuda plan. in every way. We've had support from outside expertise to obviously do our work, but that's been all it has been, is support. The leadership has been Bermudian. My job in this was always to be the main cheerleader, not to be the architect. So I've been the cheerleader of the team, and I'm happy to continue to be the cheerleader, because this is something that's going to be lasting for generations to come. This is not a short-term opportunity. This is a long-term vision for our country, for our blue economy, for how we can return to using the ocean as a chief resource of our development, of our care, and what we must do to ensure that can happen for the future. So I'm proud to have been part of this process, and I thank everyone who has been involved.
Thank you, Minister. That concludes the press conference. I wish everyone a great day.